out today and trying something out this year with 2021 being a different year. So let me introduce ourselves here. My name is Joe Bladek, and I'm a mortgage broker here in the Simcoe Muskoka area. And I'm joined here with Sam Thompson. As you know, you've seen Sam Thompson on our webinars here. And just to tell you a little bit about Sam, Sam is, he lives in Barrie. He's originally from Ottawa and is married. And he's also loving being a mortgage agent. So thanks for joining us today, Sam.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here and get to start off this new, weekly Canadian mortgage chat with you, Joe.
Yeah, it's great. And it's great to have someone to chat about mortgages with. We're both pretty excited about mortgages, aren't we, Sam?
Yeah, that's right.
And I love being excited about mortgages. I love numbers and I love home financing. So if any of you ever have a question during these meetings, Sam and I will love to take your questions. Feel free to enter them live online through any of our platforms, right, Sam?
Yeah, that's right. And we can even see questions from previous ones. The beauty of going live is that the videos stay on Facebook and YouTube. So if you are watching this maybe a bit later than Wednesday, you can still write a question and we can always circle back next week.
That's great. Thanks very much, Sam. So on today's meeting, we'll be talking about a few different things, some industry updates, some market updates, as well as we'll talk a little bit about, COVID-19 and how that's been affecting everyone. Sam, it seems like the last week has been keeping everybody on edge with the government and all the announcements and the announcements that there are announcements, hasn't it, Sam?
Yeah, it's been definitely a week to be tuned into the news, to what's happening, what Ford's saying, and of course there's a lot of interesting happenings down in the States as well. So trying to keep above it all and keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. And we understand that it can get kind of crazy when we're dealing with all these different aspects in our lives that are becoming variable, whereas they were never before variable, and we're now dealing with all these variables in our life. But at the end of the day, we want to come back on here and say, you know what, mortgages have been pretty stable. And if anything that you're worried about, it shouldn't be mortgages, because at the end of the day, we've been seeing rates come down.
That's right. The rates they've actually been quite low recently. It's been a good silver lining for our business, at least, and for, homeowners that want to keep the low rates we were seeing in 2020. To see that carry over into the new year is definitely, a positive sign into getting your into home ownership.
Absolutely. It's almost as if, like, with low rates, it's kept the housing market, robust. It's kept it fueled, and we've even seen prices go up in 2020, and we're starting 2021 with prices going up even further. We're seeing bidding wars all over the place. Yeah. Anyway, so as we're coming around, and we're seeing all this instability, know that the mortgage market is stable, and that the rates have been low. And actually, as of yesterday, Sam, we have some news that we'll talk about later today on how mortgage rates might go down even further next week. And with news like that, that's great news to hear among what's been happening recently, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sigh of relief for people, especially, starting the new year, thinking that, you might have put your housing plans on hold for 2020, that, there's maybe an opening in the start of this year to, actually make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a good time. Rates are low. And, with that, real estate prices will probably continue to go up in the near future into 2021, because there's not very much inventory out there, because, obviously people aren't moving around as much. And those who are, there's just fewer options available. So as rates are down, it's a great time to get a new mortgage. So I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about the rates, Sam. So next week, the Bank of Canada is doing their next rate decision.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what day is that happening?
That's happening on Wednesday. So it should be Wednesday, the 20th, January 20th. Yeah. So we'll be live next week. And hopefully we'll be able to announce that live on air what the decision is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be great. So with that, we can assume that rates will stay the same because they can't raise them. Raising the rates will just make the economy, like it would put the economy too much into shock right now. Yeah. So with that, there was an article that came out yesterday. They were saying that the Bank of Canada is hinting at a possible rate drop next week. Wow. And with that, yeah, that's huge. Mm-hmm. It's huge because the Bank of Canada lowered rates last year, and we saw that really impact the housing market. People just started going crazy, and now they're hinting at another rate cut next week. I don't know what this is going to do to the already fueled housing market, but you know, a rate cut next week would be great news for people that have variable rate mortgages currently, or have set up a variable rate mortgage to close. And anyone who has a line of credit, it's going to help them with lower borrowing costs.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, looking forward to that rate announcement next week, Sam, and hopefully we have some good news to share with everybody at that point. And hopefully it's good news among the news that is, you know, around us right now, and, right. And a glimmer of hope in what we have right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And because rates have been coming down, and prices have been going up and market values have been going up, Sam, we've seen a huge increase in refinancing, haven't we?
We have, yeah. As you know, as you're saying, the rates are lowering, but the market's increasing. It's actually getting tougher for some people to actually buy new properties. So a very popular solution that we're seeing is people refinancing for the lower rate. So I'm sure that with the rate announcement next week, it will probably even grow more with people looking into refinancing.
Yeah, it definitely will. And because it's so in demand right now, the refinance channel, I would say that if you are getting a refinance right now, it's still okay to do it. But as that demand really picks up, I could see like files just taking longer to complete even in the future if people put that off because rates are so low. We're seeing two different types of refinance. We're seeing people that have a higher rate and just want the lower rate and are paying that penalty to get the lower rate because it's worth it in the end. Mm-hmm. And we are seeing people that have just a lot of debt from what's happened over 2020. And, you know, sometimes it's not their fault, but there's just that debt and they have a lot of equity, but they have a lot of credit card debt and they can consolidate that at the same time getting that lower rate on their mortgage and sometimes even coming out ahead in payments overall at the end of the day. So yeah, there's some good reasons to refinance on both sides. Mm-hmm. And that's just going to be going more into 2021. So with that, Sam, I always like to talk about what makes using us a little bit different as their mortgage professional rather than the bank. And I don't know about you, but I like to say we offer a personal approach. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I think we, try and keep it as much face-to-face or, screen to screen as we can with our clients. I know that I've done quite a few, pre-approval conversations over Zoom, and I'm sure you have as well, Joe.
Yeah, we're definitely very, very versed in doing pre-approvals and mortgage appointments over Zoom now, or WhatsApp. I did find out last week, I thought WhatsApp was finished, but I did find out there's an update that you can still use it.
Nice.
So WhatsApp and Google Meetups and FaceTime.
Yeah, and there's also, we've done them in the past, and I think they should be starting up soon, but also the webinars that we offer add a very personal touch because with those, right, we get to partner with a local real estate agent to you. So it really helps connect everybody, and you get to see who you're talking to rather than, I always find it kind of tough just chatting to somebody over email or the phone when you don't even know what they look like. But being able to actually see who you're talking to always makes it, a more personal experience for sure.
You bet it does. Absolutely. Yeah. And with that, everyone that is looking for a mortgage can contact you or I and set up a time to have an appointment, whether it is face-to-face over screens or on the phone, or possibly just a time set aside where we text each other back and forth. Even I've had clients do that because they don't like the phone app, and that is okay.
Yeah.
So so that makes us different, I think. And especially when we're in an age right now where a lot of companies are going digital and they don't know what they're doing. We've been doing the digital thing now for quite some time. Ever since March of 2020, we've exclusively been meeting clients online or virtually over the phone or on whatever means possible to make sure that we're following protocol. And we become really good at that so we can help our customers better.
That's right. Yeah, we've definitely become very versed in, DocuSigns and having these phone appointments or, FaceTime appointments with clients. It's not anything new that we haven't done before. Yeah,
exactly. But it was a challenge in 2020, kind of setting it all up. But I'm glad we did that, because I think the industry is starting to shift a little bit in that it's going more virtual, and it's good to be prepared for that. And I think we're doing a great job. So yeah, with that, if you have any questions, I just want to help everyone understand that they can ask questions live online. And Sam, can you tell us a little bit about what's in store if anyone does like, share, or comment?
Absolutely. So if any of you were watching last week, you know that we announced we were going to be doing a draw. If you were to like the video or comment on it, or even share the video across any of our platforms. And yeah, we would be doing a draw for a $25 Skip the Dishes virtual gift card so that we can keep, food delivery contactless and, help support local businesses that are partnered with Skip the Dishes. So again, we will be doing that for next week as well. So if you have a question or even just want to like or give us a share for this video, we would greatly appreciate that. And it would also put your name into the running for next week's announcement.
Right on. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I love Skip the Dishes and all that. It's great having food delivered, even though we can't go to a restaurant, because I love eating out.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've eaten out, probably since March of last year, like since I've actually sat in a restaurant.
Yeah, and especially with us going into a secondary or being in a secondary lockdown, it's not even possible now. So
yeah, exactly. So Skip the Dishes, I think they're here to stay, and it's a good kind of way to get some grub.
Yeah. So speaking of, should we do the draw from last week's likes, shares, and entries?
I think that's great. Do you have them ready to go there, Sam? I'm excited about that.
I do. So you can see them all here. We do them across, a lot of different platforms. I think we have 4 videos currently going. So if you guys want to do a virtual drum roll, I will pick one up here.
I should grab my drum on the next video.
That's right. Give us a good snare roll.
Yeah, I'll give us a snare roll next week.
Okay, it looks like it is for Nathaniel Postma.
All right. Woo! Congratulations.
Congratulations. Yes. So we'll be in touch with you this week to set up getting you your digital $25 Skip the Dishes gift card. So keep an eye out for that. And again, this is an incentive and a call out to everybody watching. Shoot us a like and you could win $25 to Skip the Dishes.
That's awesome. Thanks very much, Sam. That's great. And as we go into the last bit of our program here, I just want to encourage everyone that, definitely leave a question. We are getting a lot of questions these days about the pandemic, and because it's lockdown 2.0, what is happening. And keep in mind that Sam and I are in touch with lenders daily to ensure that if you are laid off or for whatever reason out of work, or anything's going on, that we have the answers for you and you can contact us, because we want to make sure that we're a resource for you in those times. And if there's anything that you need, we're here to help you with your situation. So yeah. So let's see if there's any questions right now. Let's see what we got here. I think one of the questions we can go over and maybe kind of put out there for next week is, over the next week, we'll probably see some repercussions of this decision from yesterday from Doug Ford happen into over the next few days. Maybe there's going to be some repercussions in terms of job market. And I know that as that happens, lenders frequently update us as to how they are handling those mortgages, right? So we'll keep you posted here on these updates as to how that is developing and what we are hearing. So for next week, we'll make sure that we have those developments available for our meeting. Yeah. So excellent. Well, I think we can kind of conclude today's episode. Thanks very much for joining me today, Sam.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Yeah. And if there's anyone that has a question, leave it on the comment and we can get to the questions later as we go through the week. And we'll see you next week live here at around 10:30 on Wednesday.
Sounds good.
All right.